Hello, you're here to study about second and third conditional sentences. I'm Mr. Gary, so let's dive right in and I'll show you how. Second and third conditional sentences. Let's begin by looking at the second conditional sentence first. Afterwards, we will look at the third conditional sentence. Both have slightly different structures, but the functions, that's the reason why you use them, are completely different. So let's look at that in more detail. The second conditional is used to imagine present or future situations that are impossible or unlikely in reality. So think of conditions now that are unlikely or impossible, or future conditions that are unlikely or impossible. Let's look at some examples. Example number 1. If we had a garden, we could have a cat. Example number 2. If I won a lot of money, I'd buy a big house in the country. Example number 3. I wouldn't worry if I were you. All of these sentences are stating unrealistic possibilities, all three of which are true for me. I don't have a garden, I don't have a lot of money, and I don't worry. And I'm not going to be you now, am I? Let's look at the grammatical structure of the second conditional. The structure is usually if plus the past simple plus would plus the infinitive. The infinitive is the base form of the verb. You might know this as verb 1. Let's look at the past simple forms that are in this examples again. Had, won, and were. Those are the past simple forms of the verb. Had is the past simple of have. Won is the past simple of win. And were is the past simple of the verb be. It's worth noting that sentence number 3 looks a little different from 1 and 2. This is called inversion, or the sentence has been inverted. So, the if clause and the main clause have changed position. When any if conditional sentence is inverted like this, the meaning does not change. Some things to remember about conditional sentences. When if is followed by the verb be, it is grammatically correct to say if I were, if he were, if she were, and if it were. However, it is also common to hear these structures with was, especially in he or she form is used, and this is typically used by American English speakers or people who are using conditional sentences in an informal setting, such as with friends, perhaps with family, etc. Okay, let's move on and look at some examples. If I were you, I wouldn't mention it. If she was Prime Minister, She would invest more money in schools. He would travel more if he was younger. Notice how were has been replaced by was in examples number 2 and 3. So, here's a reminder. Remember, second conditional is used to state future situations that are impossible or unlikely in reality. That's the same for present situations as well, I might add. Right, well, you're still here, so I think it's time to go on and look at the third conditional. But before we do, I'd like to ask you just to subscribe and press the bell notification icon and set that to all if you want more videos from my channel. Let me know in the comments box as well if you need some help with learning English, and I'll be happy to produce content and videos for you. Okay, let's move on to the third conditional. Third conditional is used to imagine a different past. We can say that this is used to express regret. Let's look at some examples. We wouldn't have got lost if my phone hadn't run out of battery. What we're saying here is the people are lost because their phone battery has no charge. Let's look at another example. If I had understood the instructions properly, I would have passed the exam. What the person is saying here is they took the exam but did not read or understand the questions properly. Let's check out this example. I wouldn't have left my job if I had known how difficult it is to find another one. The person speaking here has quit their job. At the time of speaking, he or she does not have a new one. How is the third conditional made? Well, in third conditional sentences, the structure is usually if plus past perfect, comma, would have plus past participle. You might know this as the verb 3. Remember, the third conditional is used to imagine. That's the key word. Imagine a different past. The word regret is often used to express a different past outcome. So that's why we use the third conditional. Now, I did promise you a quiz. So here I've prepared 5 questions. All you need to do is write in the comment box and tell me, is the question second conditional or third conditional? Are you ready? Good. Three, 2, 1. Let's go. Question number 1. Is this sentence a second or third conditional? If it had rained yesterday, what would you have done? Remember to comment in the comments box below. Question number 2. Is this sentence a second or third conditional? If I had seen Mr. Dennis, I would have asked him. Is it a second or third conditional? Comment in the comment box. Question number 3. Is this sentence a second or third conditional? If I met Queen Elizabeth, I would say hello. If I met Queen Elizabeth, I would say hello. Question number 4. Is this sentence a second or third conditional? She would travel the world if she had the money. Okay, final question. Question number 5. Is this sentence a second or third conditional? If I knew his name, I would tell you. Okay guys, I look forward to reading your answers in the comments below. Make sure also that you read the description for details about my Facebook groups, where you can find learners just like yourselves in there who are wanting to learn more about English. Want to know more about English? Now do this. Tap up here to see my latest video, or tap just here to see my other videos in my playlist for intermediate learners of the English language. Do that now and I'll see you there. Have a great day.